Netflix just teamed up with Google to secretly release another Stranger Things Season 5 clip, as well as sneakily confirm a massive question we had about the Volume 1 finale episode, The Sorcerer. But the new clip this time is of a training sequence of 11 in the Junkyard. Not only do we get to see the effects of her honing her powers in for the last full year, but we also get to see our first clip of Hopper and Joyce back together as proud parents. This is a really wholesome clip, while also kind of hinting about exactly what 11 is training for. It seems like she's definitely working on making squishing brains or popping heads a little more manageable. We saw her in Season 1 when she was just 12 years old simultaneously eliminate 8 people at once to protect her friends. And honestly, besides her closing the gate in Season 2 and straight up levitating, this might have been one of the most exhaustive uses of her powers to date. I mean, she's not only bleeding from her nose here, but also her ears, and doing this literally makes her pass out, making her extremely vulnerable to any nearby threats. This would not be okay while she's fighting Vecna in Season 5. And while we see her do this to a human-looking pumpkin target here in this new clip, and then also to this other one here, we also saw her do this to 3 other pumpkins in the same junkyard in the ad with Nancy and Jonathan. As much as I would like to believe that she's training here to practice squishing Vecna's twiggy little head after he kidnaps Will, it seems like she's actually practicing to use her powers on someone else. In this clip, the target has on a green button-up long sleeve, and in the other shot, there's another green top and then a camo top as well, suggesting that 11 is training to not only defeat Vecna, but also, more specifically, the military. I mean, Dr. K's sole purpose in Season 5 has said to be to hunt down and find 11. We've seen that she has a specialized task force called the Wolf Pack that will be actively hunting 11 down and chasing her and Hopper into the Upside Down. We've also seen clips of 11 using her powers cut into an exploding sonar emitter on top of the military Humvees, suggesting that the military will be trying to use this new weapon to combat 11's powers. We get a better look at this weapon on the vehicles that the Wolfpack actually uses when we see them shooting at Hopper and 11 in the Upside Down when they're hiding behind the Turnbow billboard. And another interesting thing is if you watch all of these moves that 11 is doing, almost every single one of them matches the clips we've seen of her as she infiltrates the military base they've set up inside the Upside Down. We start out with a clip of her starting to sprint at the camera. We saw her do this before reaching the compound's wall in the Upside Down. The slide down the ladder and onto the car hood, we see her do this exact same thing on the rooftop of the greenhouse in the Upside Down. Then she rolls under barbed wire on the ground. I mean, she could probably just use her powers to jump over this, but maybe Hop is trying to teach her to roll when she lands to break her landing. I mean, he's literally teaching her parkour. I had no idea Hopper knew how to do parkour though. Parkour! And then she does this beautiful propelled jump, clearing the entirety of this bus. And this too is directly mirrored in the Upside Down with her jumping over this barbed wire fence and into the compound. I think here she's specifically training to get inside the compound in close to 10 minutes. But the most interesting thing about all of this, the biggest sign of improvement, is once she rolls and gets up, we can clearly see that after smashing 2 pumpkins and using her new high jump power, her nose didn't even lose a drop of blood. That's insane. This is great news. This means that not only did 11 increase the amount that she can use her powers without feeling strained or needing a recharge, but she's also strengthening her powers and building up those muscles she uses so that she can fight harder without noticing the effects it usually takes. She's literally leveling up her powers stamina for increased duration as well as its power level, meaning that the things she used to do that would make her nose bleed doesn't make her bleed anymore, which is going to be so important for this final season, this final battle, especially now that besides an upgraded Vecna, she will also be going up against the military now with their anti-11 weapons, it looks like. Seeing her use her powers multiple times while running through this course and not having a nosebleed or need a rest after before she tries again is so cool to see. I really hope that in the fight sequences, we can actually tell that she's been training. If she's been locked in for the last year, I'm really hoping we can tell that when she's throwing demogorgons around and soloing the military. And it seems like since exhaustion won't be her biggest enemy this season, that's why they gave the military these emitter weapons to dampen her powers. It seems like this one here has her completely immobilized laying on the ground by Hopper. I wouldn't be surprised if this technology is also what makes her drop to the ground in pain, holding her head in the military compound later. but it seems like as long as they can disable those weapons, she should be able to bounce back and make light work of any remaining soldiers. And I absolutely love seeing Hopper and Joyce be proud little parents together here. Joyce looks so stinking happy and proud here, and I feel like Hopper will have matured a lot going through the Russian gulag in season 4. Rewatching season 3, he was definitely a little toxic. I mean, no one ever said he was the perfect parent, but it seems like he probably is the one that put this course together for 11 to train on, and he's the one that's encouraging her to train every day, to be able to fight Vecna. Because now that he's not the police chief anymore, helping train 11 and taking part in hunting down Vecna is literally his only goal this season. I love that Hopper is legally Jane's father, and when they thought he died in season 3, Joyce basically adopted her as her own and raised her as her daughter with Will and Jonathan out in California for a year. And now that everyone's back together in Hawkins, Joyce and Hop will most likely finally get that date at Enzo's that they need so badly. Them co-parenting 11 is adorable. 11 seems like she really means business here and hasn't been able to think about anything else since Max has gone into a coma. Now, the funny thing is, to discover this secret clip, you had to complete a bunch of Stranger Things trivia on Google to unlock pieces of a puzzle that was one of the members of the kids in the outfit that they used playing D&D, and they each had a couple random letters in their picture. Once you complete all your tasks, you were done. And to get more pieces of the puzzle, you had to ask around what other people got, or you could use second accounts to get more pieces yourself. And once all 7 were collected, you could spell out the letters to make a hyperlink that took you to a video on YouTube. The art is really sick with these though. We've got Erica as Lady Applejack the Rogue. I love that one of her traits is finesse. That is very fitting. Dustin is the Bard. Mike is the Paladin. His art looks so cool. I love the heart shield from Will's painting, but 11 looks awesome. She might have the coolest artwork out of all of them. And what's interesting about this is here, for the first time, it actually confirms that 11 is the Sorcerer. Originally, she was their mage, and with episode 4, the finale of volume 1, being titled the Sorcerer, we were kind of wondering which character that referred to. Because if 11 was their mage, then is Vecna the evil sorcerer in question? All of the promotional teasers have been hinting at Will's powers of true sight evolving and becoming stronger this season, so we wondered if he would change classes yet again from wizard to sorcerer. Because like we're saying, this wouldn't be the first time he changed classes. He was originally a wizard in season 1, and then in season 2, Mike tells Max that Will is their cleric.
I'm our paladin, Will's our cleric, Dustin's our bard, Lucas is our ranger, and Elle's our mage.
And again, he changes back from a cleric to wizard in season 3, but in season 4, he depicts himself in the painting as a wizard. But if he discovers stronger powers, it wouldn't be too crazy to think he might become the party's sorcerer while 11 remained their mage. But now, as of today, we just got actual confirmation that 11 has changed roles in the party from mage to sorcerer, also meaning that episode 4 is in reference to her and her powers. Now, Will is the wizard, looks sick. He's a tad thin, which makes his haircut look bad again, but it's still cool. Lucas is the ranger, and he looks great with the Hawkins H letter on his chest. And then we get to see Max as the party zoomer, and honestly, it's just so nice to see her in something other than a hospital gown at this point. All of the party looks so great here, but this reminded me of that shot from the trailer, the one of the boys in the woods before school as they plan out one of their missions. We see Mike place these 2 pieces on the map, specifically right on the church near downtown, and I didn't realize it at the time, but these pieces are himself, the paladin with the shield, and Lucas as the hooded archer, the ranger, which means there's a good chance this plan could be the one we see them working on when Mike and Lucas are in their gear on their bikes riding down the road at nighttime. I wonder if the church where he put the pieces down is where they'll try to monitor the military from because it's so close, or if there is something important besides that at the church itself. But anyways, I think I'm gonna go back to working on this extremely long First Shadow stage play video, so make sure you're subscribed and send this to your Stranger Things friends. I will see you soon with another video. Peace.